Hi everyone. Today let us talk about an important topic in aircraft structures, and it is the most fundamental topic in aircraft structures, which is none other than stress and strain. So the stress is defined as internal resistance offered by an object to deforming forces applied per unit area of that object. So here in this definition they are saying deforming forces. So basically this deforming forces, when they are applied, the body will deform completely. And the difference between this deforming forces and the force is that this deforming forces will deform the object, but this force, when you're applying to an object, it what happens to that? Suppose you have this object, consider it as a football, and it is having some mass. So when you're applying force, it will obviously move, or it can be some external conditions also which are moving this object. But when you're applying this deforming forces, it doesn't move the object, but rather it just increases the length of the object, or it increases the width of the object, or it increases the height of the object. If you're considering 3D, if it is 2D object, it will either increase or decrease the length, or it will increase or decrease the width. Okay, this is the difference between deforming forces and a force. Okay, so when you're applying this deforming forces, suppose you've taken a rubber band and you pull it, and you release those forces, it will come back to its original position. That is gives that tells you that the object is elastic, having elastic properties. And same thing, opposite to elastic is plastic. So when you apply forces on an object and it doesn't come back to its original position, that body, you can say it as plastic body, or you can just say some plastic deformation has been taken place to the object. So you have an object here and you're applying some forces, you're applying some compressive forces and you're applying some pulling forces. So what happens when you apply these forces? The molecules inside which are placed here will try to come back to its original position, which they cannot. They are When they are trying to come back to their original position, they are developing some internal resistance. So that comes out as stress. So you can say that as, so the outcome what it will be is the body will be deformed. The body will be completely deformed. It might increase the length, it might increase the width, it might increase the height, etc. etc. happens to the object. That's the resultant of internal resistance. When you're applying some external forces and there is some internal resistance because the molecules want to come back to their original place, that's what happens to the object. It develops stress. So this basically strain is nothing but a change in the dimension by original dimension. The dimension can be length, width, height. So basically it is okay. The dimension can be length, width, or it can be height. Okay. So because of stress, this strain is developed, or in further videos, I'll be also talking about because of strain, the stress might be developed. So in this case, you had some forces applied on this object. Due to that, because of this stress, you had some deformation, and that deformation you calculated with the help of strain. So which is nothing but changing dimension by original dimension. There are 5 different types of deforming forces. That is nothing but it deforms the object completely, like compression, elongation forces, shear or tensile forces, bending or torsion. These are 5 different forces. So first one what I said was elongation or compression forces. It can be shear force, then it can be bending force, bending moment, then you have twisting moment or torsion torsion. So this elongation or compression happens when you apply some normal forces. They will be normal to this particular side of that material. This is a tensile force and this is nothing but a compressive force. This tensile force will develop some it develops some tensile stress. This compressive force will develop some compressive stress, shear force. Then I'll also be talking about bending moment and twisting moment. These are the 5 types. Okay, you can just say 4 types. This elongation or compression, you can write elongation, compression, shear force, bending moment, twisting moment. So it will become 5. Since I have written or here, it has become 4. So these are the 4 different types of stresses developed because of different types of forces applied to an object. They are named as deforming forces. Deforming forces lead to deforming stresses. This you have to remember. Because of deformation only, you're naming that force as deforming forces. Okay, thank you for watching this video.